Welcome to Everything Life and Real Estate. Let's get started with our hosts, Linda McKissack and Dana Gentry.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Everything Life and Real Estate. I'm Linda McKissack.
And I'm Dana Gentry.
Hey, Dana. So I heard you're getting sunshine today. That's good.
Yes, I need it so bad. I cannot wait. I feel like I haven't been outside in forever. But yeah, and then actually tomorrow, Adam, so the kids flew to Mobile, Alabama yesterday for a tennis tournament, a big Southern tennis tournament this weekend. Adam is flying down tomorrow morning, so I'm going to be solo. So I'm actually driving to Charlotte so I can see my nephews. So I'm excited.
How fun.
I know. So I'm going to see them Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday I fly to Austin. I'm in Austin Monday, Tuesday. So I got a busy next couple of days going.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to see pictures, and be sure and tell him that you already know his bride.
Oh, I will.
in 20 years or whatever it is.
I will. And actually, you'll love this. I'll have to send you this picture. Yesterday, their school is so late. Like, they're still in school this week, which is crazy. But he FaceTimed me. He got the Mr. Goodbar Award, which is the kid who always shows great character. I was
that's so awesome. That's so cool. That's fun.
I know.
Yeah, he's definitely in the running then. Tell him for Amelia.
And I love Amelia. She's so cute. Her in that ponytail.
Yes. Awesome. All right. So we're going to pick up two more letters from Chris Hodges' book, Legacy Letters. I love this book. It's so good.
So good. Yes. I've been telling everybody about it. It's so good.
And you know, some of the stuff is definitely stuff that we've definitely have learned over the years and we've heard before, but I just love the way he puts it together and puts it in a letter. And I always have this saying that sometimes we get so immune to hearing basic principles and things, but what we really have to ask ourselves is, have we put it in our life? You know, it's one thing to hear it many times and go, gosh, I've heard that so many times. But the truth is, what are we doing about it? And this two have really made me reflect. Matter of fact, I even started back making a longer bucket list because of this one, because one of them is the bucket list. And then the other thing too around growth, because that's the second one that we're going to talk about, is, you know, I've been asking myself, like, if I spend, like, I get up really early and I'll watch a sermon first.
Yep.
But then after that, I just pick some brainless YouTube thing. And I've been asking myself, what did I really learn from that?
Yeah.
Because I think I just have gotten in a habit of it and then I think, I don't know that I really learned anything from that. So maybe I should read a book instead, or maybe I should have a specific YouTube video that I'm watching because I want to learn something. So these two have really made me reflect a lot this week.
Yeah. It's easy to just get caught in consuming and not actually consuming for action's sake, I guess would be the best way to say it. But yeah, I definitely feel like that too. I loved, so the first one is the bucket list principle. And I love this. I remember, I think we were maybe together when John originally talked about his big boy bucket list, John Maxwell. And it was so good. But he kind of starts talking about that. But he says the whole purpose of the bucket list principle is to continually bring your dreams to life, or you risk dying inside. And even just that sentence made me think, I wonder how many people don't dream. I know we've had an episode on dreaming again. I think you talked about that one for a while, but like really dreaming big and putting out a list that stretches your imagination, but also, as we say, scares you a little bit too.
Mm-hmm. I found myself as I was redoing my bucket list scared to put something on it because I've learned enough that once, you know, I kind of think something or put it down, it's going to happen. So one of them I still haven't put on my list, but it's kind of one of those that I'm terrified that I will. And then I think, but I'm also terrified I won't, is jumping out of an airplane.
Oh yeah, you're a solo on that. I'm no way. Adam will go with you.
Oh, and I'm terrified to do it. And we got so close with the John Maxwell event here in San Diego but if I'm going to jump, gosh, jumping with those big old
SEAL guys.
Those super dudes. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Right. Because I'm definitely doing it in tandem. But it's one of those things that I saw myself and I think, okay, do I want this on the list? Do I not want this on the list? Because if I put it on the list, there's a real good chance it's going to happen. And part of me does and part of me doesn't. So I think what I love about it is they should scare you. Some of them should scare you a little bit or seem impossible for sure.
Well, remember the example that Chris Hodges gives in the book is he had always wanted to ride, and I had it right here. He always wanted to do a civilian ride in an F-16 with the Air Force Academy. And he said that it's, usually members of Congress or whoever, but he'd had that on his list. And then several years after they moved to Alabama, he was teaching a series about dreaming, and he shared that story. And then someone that was sitting in the audience, I guess, had the ability to
Two
make it happen.
four-star generals heard him.
Yes, yeah, yeah, and they made his dream come true of riding in the F-16. And he said it happened several months later, but he was just talking about he said that definitely taught me to never say never when it comes to dreams.
Yeah. And one thing I love about that story, because I love that story when he tells it, is when they actually present it with him, part of the stipulation is he has to be in certain shape. And he looks at himself and he thinks, uh-oh. And so what it made me think of is sometimes when we put something big on our bucket list, it actually causes us to do something else that we really want to do, but we maybe haven't committed to.
Yeah. Well, I love when he said, if you want to start living, then start dreaming. Nothing wakes up the soul like a vision for what could be, because dreams fuel your imagination and determine your direction. And sometimes it is true, especially like if you're in a rut or something, just having a big dream, where I know you and I were just texting about how to hit a bestseller list. Like that really pulled me kind of like forward to something, because I knew I wanted to do it. I mean, it's like when you dream again, you're like, okay, I got to figure out how to make this happen. And it does give you that momentum.
Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, I think we get dormant. We just kind of don't even think about the magic it happens. I loved what it said is dreaming isn't a luxury, it's a medicine.
Yes, I circled that. It's so good. I love that so much. Oh, speaking of, this is a squirrel, has nothing to do with the book, but I was gonna see if you saw. You know how I always give that one quote from Amy Porterfield's book that changed my life about human beings are meant to be in progress, and when you're not in progress, did you see she's speaking at the CEO summit?
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, I texted Jason. I was like, making all my dreams come true. Like I'm totally fangirling out on her. I can't wait. I have to meet her.
Yeah, we did a very small group with Michael Hyatt years ago. She used to live out here in San Diego, and one of my coaches, which was Stu McLaren, and her are really good friends. But when I think she might have just been starting out, but we did
was little then. I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, we went to the Michael Hyatt thing, and there was only like 5 of us there. It was so small.
Oh.
And she was one of the ones that were there, and she's really just blown up. So it's exciting.
Her book really was a huge marking book for me. So I was excited about that. But she kind of talks about this, like if you aren't in progress with things and you aren't dreaming, then yeah, you just grow stagnant. The big thing I really wanted to make sure we talked about in here too is he goes through the types of dreamers, but he said one thing that I thought was so good: specific dreams are more likely to come true. And that kind of struck me. So I like journaled about that just a little bit, because the more specific that you are with it, the more likely it is to come true, really, instead of just kind of being vague with it.
Yeah, for sure. And one thing I added as a side note as I was going through this is I think it helps to be around other dreamers.
That's good.
If other people are dreaming, sometimes just their idea or a dream or a bucket list thing they have will spur something up inside of you to think, oh, I didn't even know that was possible.
Yeah, that's so good. Yeah. Yes, I love that. Yeah. Let's see if there was anything else I liked. He did talk about the distance between your dreams and reality is called action. Having a dream is easy. Seeing it fulfilled actually takes endurance. And so you have to really think about, what would make it possible to be able to do this.
Yeah. And I was thinking about that because I think setting a goal, especially a big goal, there is a messy middle.
Yeah.
The idea of it is so exciting and so exhilarating and invigorating and all the things. And then there's the action. And then somewhere from the action to the completion, there's this super messy part where I've noticed for myself, these more limiting beliefs will pop up. I'm questioning, do I really even want that? What was I thinking? And then I just have to remind myself, it's because this is the not fun part, but it's the part you have to go through before you get the actual thing on your bucket list or the dream or the accomplishment or whatever. But I
Yep.
just hate that space. And I think sometimes it's kind of like once you've set some big goals and big dreams and have accomplished them, part of you kind of knows that part's coming, and it almost, I think, makes you stop dreaming because you
Mm-hmm.
know, oh gosh, I can set this and that's all great, but and that's warm and fuzzy, but the real
Mm-hmm.
rubber hits the road is not always so fun. You know,
Yeah.
there's failure in there, there's lessons in there, there's struggle in there.
Yeah.
But I've
That's
never
the whole, like,
never
not.
done a one that I haven't been glad I did once I got through that part.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's kind of that whole, like, not knowing if you're on the 5 yard or 50 yard line that you always talk about, because you're
Yeah.
in that just muck of it.
Well, and it causes you to doubt, who
Mm-hmm.
was I to think I could accomplish that? Who is I to think I should be doing this or want to do this or could do this, all the things. And then I think about other people, and perfect example is this Amy Porterfield we just talked about. There was really messy, struggling times. She looked, we compare our insides to everybody else's outsides.
Yeah.
But I think we also have to say, where are they on the journey? If you find somebody that's accomplishing the dream you have, you got to be realistic about where they are in the journey, because you're way back here more than likely, and they're
Mm-hmm.
way far ahead. So you're seeing an end product of some failures and some struggles and some limiting beliefs that popped up and all the things. And I don't think that's a fair comparison, right?
Yeah. I think he said in the book, in one of these, about, we say don't compare your insides to other people's outsides or whatever, but he said don't compare your year 2 to their year 10.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that is so true, because we definitely have a tendency to do that. It was kind of cool though. I mean, at the end of this chapter, I did start to go through and, like, I had a bucket list from where John had said that before, and then I went back and was trying to add some things to it. But once you get thinking on it and going on it, you can't, the things pop up, like there were certain things, and really in all aspects of life. Like, I was trying to think of bucket list things, like in relationships and in wealth and in health and all
Yeah.
the things.
Yeah, and I think too this, because I've definitely been knee deep into people being stuck in comfort with teaching my 10X challenge, that I think sometimes comfort gets in the way of big dreams. It gets
Yeah.
in the way of stretching and doing all the things. I love what he said in the legacy letter is, that's why I want to say this to you as clearly as I can. Your soul still needs a vision.
Yeah. So good. Yeah, I love that. Well, and he said in there, don't let fear talk you out of what matters most. Write down your dreams, say them out loud, share them with people. But even, like, same as you, like, some of the ones it's funny because it, like, immediately your limiting beliefs start to pop in.
Yeah.
And like, one of the ones that I wrote down was to have 4 homes in specific areas that we could truly entertain and be happy in those spots. And then immediately when I wrote that down, I thought, gosh, it's hard to take care of even 2 houses. And then I think about, like, all the, it's like, and then you're like, but what, do you really need that? Do I really need that? That seems kind of excessive. Like, it's just weird how your mind starts to do that automatically, like within seconds of writing it down.
Yes, so true. Yes, without a doubt. The little
One of the ones I
naysayers.
wrote down though, I actually love, and I shared with Adam, and we put it in our phones. But because we got married later in life, I really want us to celebrate a 40-year wedding anniversary, which would mean I would be 79 and Adam would be 86. So I was like, okay, that's doable. That's like easy.
All you have to do is set that you're going to live to 156, and you'll just
Yeah.
breeze right past that.
Right. Love it. Yep. Well, that was a good one, the bucket list. So definitely a challenge for everyone listening to go and make your bucket list, make a big bucket list of things that make you happy and things that scare you, all the things, right? He said dream no small dreams, for they have no power to move the hearts of men. I love that. I can't remember who quoted that, but that was in there. It was good.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and we'd love to hear your bucket list, so that we might hear something on yours that we want to add to ours. So reach out to us and share your bucket list.
Yes, true.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You go ahead. The growth principle.
Yeah, growth principle was the next one. And of course, obviously, we love this one. He said, don't just set goals, outgrow them. Goals can take you somewhere, but growth will take you everywhere.
Yeah, I love that.
It's so good. So good. even just things he said on the first page, I highlighted and sent this to so many leaders that I know right now. But growth is what sustains success. It's what shapes who we are becoming, not just what we are doing. Success isn't a destination; it's a journey of becoming the person you were created to be. And growth allows you to fulfill your potential. And it's true. I mean, growth is really, gosh, it's just everything.
Well, and I think it's kind of the difference too between goals are something you can set, but I think growth is what happens along the way when you're trying to achieve them.
The journey. Yeah.
Mm. The
Yeah.
journey, definitely the journey.
Yeah, because he gives that little breakdown on 46. Goal conscious people focus on the destination, but growth conscious people focus on the journey. Goals motivate you temporarily, growth matures you continually, and goals are often external, but growth is always internal. And I
Mm.
thought that's just like the perfect description of it. And I actually thought of you and I both. I love what he shared in here. He said, when I first entered ministry, I didn't have much natural gifting. I wasn't a standout speaker. I was a C student from Louisiana who had failed speech class, but I was hungry and I believed that I could grow. I studied communicators. I listened to feedback. And then this was the part I loved. I worked hard. I kept showing up day after day. I wasn't always the most gifted person in the room, but I was willing to grow. And that commitment to growth has taken me further than any single goal ever could.
Yeah.
And that sentence, I was like, wow, that's my life in a nutshell. But it's just so good.
Yeah, and it's a testimony to be sure and set something, not something that you necessarily think is possible, but things
Yeah.
you think that either someone has told you is impossible or your brain tries to tell you that's impossible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And I actually thought this is, sometimes we don't remember this, but he says real growth is built in the quiet, hidden routines that no one else sees. The books you read, the time you spend in prayer, the questions you ask, the feedback you receive, and the time you take to reflect. And sometimes I think we feel like growth is like all the outward stuff, but a lot of it are those kind of those small habits that you just commit to doing and being intentional about.
Yeah. He says, intentional growth looks like daily reflection, which here's that word again, daily course correction and daily awareness.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, that was good. I highlighted that too. Oh, I liked how he actually gave the example of marriage when he said one day he stopped and asked an admirable man that he had, what's the secret to a strong marriage? And he said, the answer stuck with me. I check on it regularly. I don't just assume it's okay. Every month I ask my wife, how am I doing? And then I listen, adjust, and grow. And he said, it's simple. Don't wait for things to break. Just take regular inventory if you want to grow. And that's good.
Yeah, so true. Kind of checks and balances. I was listening to something the other day. I can't remember. I think it was John Acuff on procrastination or something, but he talked about reflecting and, reevaluating. And it's kind of like, you know, we don't do enough of that. We just start moving forward instead of spending a little bit of time going, hey, is what I'm doing actually working? Or do I need to adjust it a little bit? But I think it's awfully brave because he actually asked his,
Yeah.
how's he doing?
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Well, he gave kind of 5 areas if you really want to have grow, make a growth plan and really grow. And it was number 1, setting aside daily time to grow. So putting it on your calendar, just like how you're listening to your sermons and your episodes every single morning, like that's daily time to grow. Number 2, identifying areas where you want to improve. Don't try to focus on everything. That reminds me of Mac Lake's growth workbook, how you pick one category a month, he said just focus on one area that you want to improve. Number 3, learn from others, read books, listen to podcasts, talk to mentors, watch people. I would add, get in rooms, like go to events. That's some of the
Yeah.
best learning we've had. Number 4, reflecting on what you've learned. The part me and you aren't great at. Don't just consume, consider, think it through, reflect, and process how new insights relate to your life. And then the last one, number 5, apply what you've learned. Knowledge doesn't change you, the application actually does. And I think those are 5 really great steps to just kind of getting going on growth.
Yeah, I love it. He says, read something meaningful, reflect on something significant, write something memorable, do something specific to grow, and do something for someone else.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I really like the last one too, because sometimes it's all like, we make it all about us. His legacy letter in this one I thought was so good. and I actually put right here in my notes, I was like, shared this on social media. I loved this sentence where he said, "Nothing has shaped my future more than a simple willingness to keep growing." And when I look at people who have really big lives, I mean, they are lifelong learners and growers, and they want to keep growing. Like, they're impressed with growth. It's all the things growth.
Yeah. He said, growth isn't always easy. It pushes us out of our comfort zone. It reveals areas we'd rather ignore. It demands that we change, even when change is scary. But what's the alternative? Gail Sheehy explained, if we don't change, we don't grow. If we don't grow, we aren't really living.
Yeah. Yeah. So true. Yeah. Yeah. Growth is definitely, I mean, it can be scary. It can make you feel uncomfortable. Um, but even when I look back on some of the biggest growth moments, what you started with saying, Linda, is the journey. Like when I was going down memory lane in my cleaning out my garage, last weekend, I was like, oh my gosh, all these times like of massive growth, the journey has been so fun. I mean, it's been hard, but it's been so fun too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, I think too, I just thought of this the other day, listening to someone else really made me, I think another reason we need community and we need to be around other people is sometimes just what someone says,
Yeah.
you think, because when this was something Press said, and I thought, why have I not thought of that? You know what I mean? But I'm thankful that he did, because it spurred something in me to go, why have I not thought of doing that? How could I become more aware of someone's need or what they need, and take action on it? But anyway, so I think community helps in that way, that sometimes I think everybody's in each other's lives to teach us certain things.
Yeah.
And maybe it's their uniqueness or their gift zone or their genius, but it should spur something in us. And this was just an act of kindness that Press was doing. And I thought, man, why am I not thinking of that? Why did I not think of that? Not to take it away from him, but
Yeah.
it reminded me to think more like that. It was really good.
I got to brag on Press for a minute, man. He led the growth or the regional call on Monday and ended it. And I mean, people were texting me. Everybody was texting Press. I text Press. I was like about to cry. I mean, he just went he exemplified such great leadership at the end of the call. I was like, wow, it was like what every person needed to hear on the call. It was so good.
Yeah, I heard from Terry Foster and some other people.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was one of the ones who texted me. She was like, wow, that was great leadership. I said, I know, I actually just text Press and said that.
Yeah, I told her, thank you for confirmation, because nothing feels better to a leader than to have other leaders appreciate the leaders you've put in front of them. You know what I mean?
So true. Yes, it's so true. It's the best.
And one of our criteria that we try really hard when we hire somebody is, will they love our people as much as we love our people? Yeah. And that's a really hard thing, to be honest with you. And it's one of those things that when you hire somebody and they don't have it, is when you wake up and realize how important it's needed. Otherwise, you just assume, oh, I love these people, so they will too. But that's not always the case. So since I've woke up to that fact, I realized that part of the criteria we look for is, do I feel like this person could love those people as much as we love those people? Because when you really love and care for the people that you're serving, leadership becomes a lot easier.
Oh, big time. Yeah. And the crazy thing is, once those people have felt that, they can not feel it from somebody who doesn't love them like that too. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. So true. That's awesome.
So
I told Terry, thank you for the confirmation, because it's kind of like even though he is actually, I am actually a proud parent, but it feels kind of the same thing when you've put leaders, because the only way we're going to grow and keep being able to make our lives bigger is to, have that bench of people who, when you hand off people to them, you're not thinking, oh, I don't know. I feel like I'm giving them lesser, or someone who doesn't care as much. Yeah. And that's really, really hard to find, because otherwise you're stuck in your role forever until you can find those people that you can feel confident about turning over the people you lead to.
Yeah. It's so true. So true. Well, that actually kind of goes with the very last sentence the last aha that I had from this principle on growth, which was at the very end of his legacy letter. He said, growth will gradually take you further than talent ever could, and it will shape you into someone that you're really proud to become. And
Yeah.
I just think that sentence sums it up. I mean, when you have a growth mind and you live in that like always want to be growing thing, it does make you someone that you're proud to become.
Yeah, and I think I think it'll trump talent. So, because again, we sometimes compare ourselves to someone who's farther down the journey or more accomplished in it. But the truth is, if you continue to grow, it's kind of like the compound effect. You'll make such strides that before you know it, you'll look up and look like you have as much talent as the person who was born with that natural talent.
Yeah, so good. Yeah, it's definitely one of the if there are any cheat codes, being growth minded is one of them.
Yeah, so true. I love the part it says, and we'll end on this. Growth is rarely impressive in the moment. Most days it looks ordinary, quite unnoticed. It's choosing to learn when it would be easier to coast, choosing to reflect when reacting feels faster, choosing to stretch when settling feels comfortable. I've had to make those choices more times than I can count. And that's so true, all of us.
Yeah. I know. I circled that too. Yeah. Especially when it is like the quiet part of growth. It can, it does feel like, okay, is this really working? And like, am I really growing? But yeah, so good. Such good principles. And I know I'm like thinking on my quiet time later this afternoon, I'm going to add to my bucket list.
There you go. Good deal. All right. Well, we'll have to, and as we usually do, at some point we'll share our bucket lists.
Yes. Oh gosh, I know. I need to get mine a little bit in a better place.
I'm giving you fair warning. We're going to share our bucket list.
Okay. I'll get it going. Awesome. I've got 5 written down right here on this last page, so I'll keep adding to it.
Awesome. So remember, if you have not hit the subscribe button, please go ahead and do that now. And the greatest compliment you can pay Dana and I is 2 things. 1, pass this podcast along to anyone that you think would benefit from our conversations. And number 2, give us a great review so that people who don't know us can find us on the podcast platforms. If you have a question, a challenge, a guest, or anything that you'd like for us to put on the podcast, be sure and reach out to us at info@everything life and real estate. Well, Dana, enjoy your sunshine today, and I'll see you next week.
Thank you. You too. See you then.
Be sure to subscribe for more business strategies and tactics to inspire you to live an abundant real estate life. Don't forget to rate and review so we can bring you the best content. Find this and other valuable information at everythinglifeandrealestate.com.